You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in, because in this video we are going to take a close look at another handheld from Anbernic. And this time it's going to be the RG405M. The M stands for metal, and oh man, I love these metal handhelds. Yep, I have too many of them. And yeah, the thing is, what I do love it, and I really like that I keep doing this, because it just gives you like a very nice different feel to it. The handheld itself is inside the box. There's no power supply, take that in consideration. Then of course we're going to get ourselves the wipes for cleaning. And if you want to add yourself like the screen protector, then of course we're going to get ourselves the deluxe manual or the total manual, because there's nothing like a lot on it. Like this is basically what it says. But to give you like a quick overview how you need to operate the device itself, how everything works. So yeah, it can be very convenient if you ask me. But beside the metal shell, I really didn't really like it in some ways. Let me explain. So first of all, like when you're looking at handhelds, think about the original Game Boy. They are like thick and very comfortable for my hands. And what I'm having with these handhelds, they're like thick enough to enjoy. But when you're going to like using the shoulder buttons, I don't find these things super comfortable to play. I always need to cramp up my hand some way and make it like say less comfortable. They made a decision to put the D-pad on the left bottom position. Not the biggest fan of it, simply because I am a D-pad guy. I play most of my games with the D-pad. So they have like a very tiny curve to it, like it's not much. And the touch itself, I do like the D-pad overall quality. Then we're going to get ourselves like the two joysticks, similar to the Nintendo Switch, with a click. And of course the shoulder buttons, where I'm not a big fan of. They did put a different height to it, but in overall I don't like them at all. At the top we're going to get volume control, the on-off switch, and the input for charging with the Type-C. And then we're going to get ourselves like an LED that indicates when it's charging. At the bottom we're going to get ourselves two speakers, and they sound quite good. They don't have a lot of bass of course, but they sound absolutely amazing for the mid and high, and playing actually games I really enjoyed listening to the soundtracks. Already mentioned you can buy the option for having an extra SD card, but sometimes it's maybe better to get yourself your own, because here you can see like it doesn't have any brand whatsoever. So how good the quality is, yeah, I'm just going to be honest, it says like high speed, but if they're going to get corrupted someday, I would not be surprised. And of course another thing I find it very interesting, that they also implemented a jack phone out, so you can listen with your headphones. So another weird option they choose, I think that is something new they're going to do, is having the ABXY completely like different than what I'm used to. We're going to get like over here the ABX and Y, so I can tell you, playing with some games, I really need to get used to it, or in other words, I really couldn't get used to this. It's really annoying. So at the front we're going to get ourselves like the two buttons mostly mapped to select and start in the games itself. So that works absolutely great. And of course we're having here the home button and the return. That's very convenient if you want to get from a menu, or let's say an emulator, and want to go back to the menu itself to, let's say, mess around with it. Like a lot of different handhelds of Anbernic, they're going to deliver us like a beautiful IPS display on the inside, and I can tell you it looks great. It's kind of difficult to record. You can see like the front glass original, it's kind of glossy. So when booting up the device itself, it needs to reconfigure itself. But when done, this is actually what you're going to get. Also, we're having touch capabilities with the display itself. Every emulator has been pre-installed in combination with the buttons over here. So the only thing you need to do for that is basically adding your games and you're ready to go. Over here we also have like a couple of Android games that we're going to try out, and of course we're having Play Store capabilities. I'm still offline. But again, it doesn't matter. I think it's pretty damn cool that we have like Android. The positive thing is, if you want to play Dream on full HD or higher resolutions, you can do so, because you can buy it from the Play Store and activate it, so unlocking the full potential for Dreamcast. But in this video I also want to implement some Android games, because I think it's so cool to actually play a couple of games you can buy, like Street of Rage 4, and if you're going to combine this with your Netflix subscription, you can even play the Turtle games. And they run pretty damn good on this device. So if you just love to play these games like me, you do have like a lot of great time. The downside is I needed to get like used to the controls, because everything has been like swapped up. So this is such a little bit of an annoying thing they did. But again, in combination with the audio, it runs pretty damn good. But the unfortunate thing is, I wish they made the option to order yourself like a device that absolutely like have the D-pad at the left top corner, because I personally don't really use the analog stick that much. But if you have like subscription with Netflix, you do have even the option to add your games through this way. I think it's really cool. They have like games like Turtles you can play, but again, you need to like have the subscription, otherwise you cannot play them. But if you just want to have like a device that is Android based and want to play different games, for example Minecraft, the Anbernic does have this option to actually play these games. Of course, there are nowadays many ways to play on your phone, but also if you want to add some controllers to it. But this is just like an all-in-one solution. But let's get into some emulation and start off with PlayStation Portable. All the way up to PlayStation 1 it runs just fine, so we're not going to focus on that today. Just wanted to show you, so you need to tinker with these settings. Some games will have the option for rendering resolution 2 times, like God of War. Yeah, everybody's testing this game like that, so also going to do it, but later on like playing a different game. So when pressing the back button, it will bring you into the menu if you want to tinker with the settings, so that works pretty damn well. So loading it up. The weird thing is like the resolution of the screen is different than your normal, let's say, device that we've seen from Anbernic, so everything looks a little bit cropped up. Maybe not the best way to play. You can see like it still struggles here and there, so maybe we need to even like set it back all the way to 1. A lot of speed hacks have been enabled. Okay, so here you can see like it runs absolutely horrible. This is unplayable in my opinion, so let's set it to 1 time. Let's go all the way back. And that's much better. Again, that's a little bit of a downside to this device. Maybe with different emulators or versions we can like tweak it a little bit more, but yeah, I think this is just the max we're going to get out of this device. But it's not all that bad, but I guess if you're going to look at some different device or different games, we do have like greater performance. The next up I wanted to check out is Ridge Racer, one of my favorite games to play on the PlayStation Portable. Something I really don't like to show off that often, but let's try a little bit of a gameplay. And again, here you can clearly see to the game that it looks a little bit strange in my opinion, but doesn't spoil the fun at all. With some soundtracks, oh boy, that is what I really like about this thing. It sounds absolutely amazing and you can really enjoy the soundtracks of Ridge Racer. Another thing is that my thumb is going to be like pushing into the second joystick. Here you can maybe clearly see it. Another thing is the buttons are a little bit too tiny for me, like drifting. So I really need to get used to the controls again. Ah, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, let's not do another drift. Nah, it's official. I suck at this. Yep. So the next thing that we're going to try out is some GameCube. Yeah, and GameCube is a system that, I must say, it's going to be a mixed performance. I've been playing a little bit of Crash for some time, and you can see like the image quality, it's a little bit choppy, and it is not the best performance I have seen. But again, like, it's a mix. Oh, and now you just stopped working, or what? Oh, no, there we go. In my opinion, it's still playable, so it's not going to be a big of an issue for me. But it's also depending like what kind of games you're playing. So let's move on to a two-dimensional game. You will see we're going to get so much more better performance. Another favorite game I wanted to play is some Budokai. And this is absolutely a great game. Just to check it out for you guys. And you can see we don't have like the same choppy emulation performance that we have at the previous game. So it's really demanding what kind of game you want to play. Two-dimensional stuff, I think it's... If you have like a great compatibility, you can actually play this. So next up I wanted to try some 2560 by 9020 resolution. Yeah, and that is when you're going to buy it through the store, you're going to have like the unlocking for even upscaling. And I can tell you when you're going to play some game this way, it looks so much better. And I like it a lot.
Assume level
Holy, this thing goes really loud. Okay, so the thing is, if you're going to look into the emulation performance in higher resolutions, you're not going to get a lot of luck there. So in my opinion, this is one of the resolutions that will still make the gameplay really nice. No stutter whatsoever. And this is one of those features this handheld absolutely great with. So if you want to play some higher resolution Dream, it's going to be absolutely great, to a certain point of course. But you can always like mess around with the emulation performance with some, let's say, different games that are, for example, two-dimensional. Then we're going to try like different resolution there. But I really like the resolution in combination the way how actually everything just looks and plays. For me, this is more than enough. So another system that runs pretty damn good on this device is N64. So if you were searching for an N64 emulator that runs all of your games or most games pretty damn good, yeah, this is absolutely one of those choices you can make. I think it's a really cool add-on because N64 is a system that struggles on so many cheaper handhelds. Or like this RG is not really a cheap handheld, but you're getting the point. It's pretty damn cool. I think one of the systems I really wanted to see working on here is the PlayStation 2. One of my favorite systems still to play. But you really need to double check which game is compatible with this when it comes to the emulator and of course the hardware. And I can tell you the performance, it's not really exciting to be honest. Some games are still playable, but some of them are like absolutely unplayable. In this case, you can see like it struggles big time. You can just tweak like forever to get some better performance out of this, but I'm more like if you're not going to get like a plug and play solution like this. So in my opinion, when it comes to PlayStation 2, we are not there yet. It's maybe not like the most craziest game they can try to emulate on this, but take consideration if you're having great compatibility with the emulator and it's a game that doesn't need like a lot of power, it's highly possible that it will run okay. Yeah, you can play this game actually on MAME if you want to, but I just wanted to give you an example when it comes to two-dimensional. There are actually some PlayStation 2 games that seem to be working just fine. But again, like Metal Slug is not like a great game to try out because again, there are so many ways you can play this. But here in summary of the things I really don't like or what I really like about it. So the Anbernic, it's a new handheld to the Anbernic family and they keep releasing new handhelds every single year. And I must say that I really wish that we'd seen at least on PlayStation 2 perfect emulation. It's not there yet. And yeah, beside that there's a lot of great stuff you can still do with it. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this and it would be great to see you in the next video.